Hello and welcome to another P2P update. 4 weeks already passed since the last update, and as you know, every 4 weeks I calculate my return on each platform, my monthly P2P income, and exchange with the community about my opinions, about my experience in the last weeks. As always, I want to make it as short as possible. As always, I will talk too much, and as always, I appreciate so much if we have exchange in the comments, because this is where we can all learn from each other. I will make it very fast on each platform, that you just get a peek what has changed on the platform itself, and then we will check the calculations and the ranking of my platforms and as well the changes. Yeah, MINTOS, you can see that is the platform with the biggest amount invested at the moment. And I want to watch it very closely, especially the recovery is for me very important, as well as all the developments, if they really implement what they promised for us. Yeah, so watching very closely what's happening there. Is there coming the regulation? Is there coming the MINTOS card? And how is the recovery? Depending on that, I will also make my decision how to continue with MINTOS. TWINO, as you know, I already withdraw all my investment, and it's only the interest return that's now on the platform continuing working for me. BONDORA, you know, I'm waiting for the money to be transferred to Go and Grow because of this limit of the 400 euro each month, but already close to my goal with the 1 euro every day. And also with the compounding, I get closer and closer to it. So in a few days, when the money is transferred again for this month, I will have the 1 euro income every day. Yeah, but so far I'm okay with that. I will not increase more than that, I believe, for the moment. You know, I can always change my mind because it's my money. But for the moment, I prefer a higher return, as you know. So for me, it's too less interest return. Simply because it's a high-risk investment in any way. But yeah, I like it for diversification as another asset. But all in all, I want to have double-digit income on P2P investments. Then VIAINVEST, yeah, no problems. Everything working so far, no changes. Also, only my interest return that is still in it, and withdraw all my investments, same on Swapper. Then we go to ESTATEGURU. As you can see, I reduced ESTATEGURU again. That's simply because if I watch closely the finance market, the economy, you know, there might be seen a higher inflation in the next months and years. Of course, we don't know that, but for me, it's one scenario that could happen. Why could be a high inflation in the markets? Because first of all, the national banks put a lot of money into the markets, and on the other hand, the consumers want to consume and they couldn't, but their savings and their saving rate increased in the last month, which can just be seen by statistics. Also, if some people might say, yeah, but people don't have so much money. But all in all, you can see that a lot of people saved a lot of money in the last month and year. And so I think because of consume and people that want to consume and might queue in front of the restaurants and want to go on holiday and buy the tickets and so on, there will be big demand, and so prices might rise also because of that reason. Of course, we don't know if it's also for the next years or maybe only for the next months, but I don't want to be for too long term in loans. So most loans are like 12 months, 18 months on ESTATEGURU. And also I can see that there are a lot of projects refinanced on ESTATEGURU, which I also see as something I don't like that much. Yeah, and so yeah, I just simply, you know, it's my decision. I decided to reduce ESTATEGURU a bit, but nothing especially to complain at the moment. Then VIVENTOR, I will talk about that at the calculations. Yeah, it's just a drama in my opinion, how it developed in the last months, especially since it was sold. The BONDSTER, everything is working properly. Somebody asked me about the 60-day plus loans. This microcasa, we already had this topic a lot, and we also covered it in the interview I made with Pavel. yeah, this is something we know about, and everything else is working properly, and I prefer BONDSTER, especially because of the higher return they offer on loans usually than other platforms. But still, never forget the risk. IUVO, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself, but just to explain why I increased again. I simply like this scenario because I know Ibanka and the CEO Alexander Melis personally very well. And so this is for me a scenario where I think I understand what's happening, where I think I know the people behind, and where I think I also have the, because it's not only to know the people behind, it's also to have an exchange and communication with these people, yeah, and the feeling that you can have some kind of control. Of course, it's maybe just only a feeling because, yeah, you never know what happens. But for me, this is, as you know, a very, very good scenario where I can sleep very well. Which is much different to, for example, the VIVENTOR situation. Yeah, what to say about last week? There have been some problems because there were listed new loans, and I saw that, and they were listed in the primary market already with delay, and also I expected them to be listed at the beginning of May after my last conversation, because I always ask Alexander Melis, the CEO, when will you list the next loans, that I know when I transfer the money, and I already had transferred 2,500, so it will be invested in the first week of May. But then it was invested already on the, what was it, the 19th, yeah? So I was a little bit surprised and thought, okay, but you told me you will make it usually monthly for the cash flow, and then he said we were trying some new API, and I just wrote him afterwards in the evening why there have been investments already in the 19th as I expected it in May, and especially because they were delayed already in the primary market, which made absolutely no sense, because then he would have had to buy them back. So it was like, huh? And then it was for me even some kind of positive, a negative thing that also had its positive side, because which I really appreciate a lot, and you don't need to understand that. But I just wrote him in the evening when I saw it. It happened at about 6 p.m. and then I wrote him an email at about 7 p.m. and he immediately replied and said, okay, that's in his interest, and he will take care about that. And he already made his first research and explained me that they are trying to make a new API where they don't need to send these manual lists, and it will do it automatically, the listing. And maybe something went wrong with that, and also they put me in the communication with the teams in the next day, and at least they made a mistake in the API and the new software, but it showed the system, how it worked, and it was very transparent for me. So mistakes happen and are part of the way to success. For me, and for me it's important that I have a communication, explanation, can understand it, and yeah, so it was at least for me even some kind of positive because of how they managed it afterwards. And they corrected everything, and it was no delay. At least it was, I think, as I understood it, only that the term from the payment, the last payment of the borrower, showed it as a delay. But it was just a monthly payment, which was okay, yeah. But it was wrong with the new API and the software implementation. That's how I understood it, and they corrected it, so everything great again. And yeah, so this is a scenario where I might even make further increases, but of course don't copy me. That's very important, because it's just my decision, and I exchange about what I'm doing and exchange about what you're doing, so we can learn from each other. But we also always have to make our own decisions, and we are responsible by ourselves, yeah. So no investment recommendation, as I always mention, yeah. Yeah, but that's maybe the news about IUVO. So you see how my life is happening. And now let's go to the calculation. Again, it's written in German, but I will try to make a translation for you. This is what I paid out. This is what I paid in to P2P. On each platform was not that much transfers in the last months. And then you can see the return on each platform and the total amount I have invested in each platform. Yeah, I don't want to repeat everything. You can read it yourself. I just highlighted something positive. You have to mention maybe MINTOS in this case, because it was with 182 the most income I made on the platform in the last 4 weeks. It's not a monthly income, it's a 4 weeks income. That's a difference maybe also to understand, because I always want to have these 4 weeks calculations. Yeah, that's a habit of mine. Yeah, but also you have to compare it to the amount invested, and so it's maybe not that great or that, yeah. Anyway, then we have TWINO, we have BONDORA. BONDORA is very predictable with the Go and Grow. VIAINVEST, it's, yeah. Swapper, I think if you compare to the amount invested, it's still a good return, as always, also very predictable. Then ESTATEGURU, 180, also one of the highest returns, but it's also one of the top platforms from the total amount invested. Then VIVENTOR, yeah, I mean, what does it help if they write me the return, which of course has to be written in the calculation, but they have to also pay it out. They always extend, or like Skill or the Atlantis Group always extends their debt they have at me, the money they owe me, and they don't pay it back. So we can only hope that they will be able to pay back their debt they have. Yeah. BONDSTER worked properly, IUVO very predictable, so yeah, and you can read it yourself. And 864 on P2P income, I think it's not that bad as a 4 weeks income. Yeah, but we have to see how everything develops, of course, especially at MINTOS, which is in the platform ranking through the total amount invested, number 1 at the moment in my personal asset allocation on the P2P. But we always have to mention that P2P is in my total asset allocation only 9%. Yeah. So I should talk more about the stock market in my videos, but somehow it's always coming back to this P2P topic. Anyway, second is still ESTATEGURU, third is BONDSTER. What did I write here? Yeah, this is just to watch closely about the regulation, about the MINTOS card, about the annual meeting, and also especially how the recoveries are developing in next months, and depending on that I will decide how continue. Then ESTATEGURU I will reduce because of these long-term loans, and I think the inflation might come, and so I don't want to be too much in obligation. Then BONDSTER, everything okay. I really appreciated that I now have this personal contact to Pavel, that I could ask him my questions. I also recorded it, as you might have already seen on my channel. But now it's important for me, if I continue these investments with this amount, I want to be at site, and I want to see the office and have some conversation with the team and get my personal impression. As you know, this is very important for me, and already saved me in one situation to invest more on a specific platform. You might remember what I mean. Yeah, I mean, of course, it did not prevent me to lose some money, but it's, you know, it's always it could be worse, it could be better, but it prevented me before investing more and losing more. So for me, this is very important to make this research on site, personally for me. But this is also a reason why I still have in my mind if I might maybe one day just reduce and stop investing in P2P, because it's still a lot of work to do. And I also have my cash flow with the dividend income, which is maybe not that stressful as it is in the P2P market, and not that risky. Yeah? However, let's continue with my ranking. IUVO, yeah, there have been the problems with the new API, but I immediately had the possibility to exchange with Alexander Melis about it, and on the very next day they corrected everything. VIVENTOR, yeah, I mean, it's just a pity. You know, when I've been there in Barcelona in the office and exchanged with Alex and Alex Black, my friend, and Andreas in the office, I had the impression that they really want to improve, and they are on a good path to develop, and you never know what happens after that. But at this point I was like, okay, I will continue my investments there, maybe not increase but continue. But then when it was sold, for me it was like a real shame. It was a pity what happened to the platform, yeah, especially with these Atlantis loans that are extended and extended. yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I would be really excited about your opinion on everything, and especially also on this topic. Yeah, let's continue with the next platform. Bondora, all good so far. Go and Grow is working, but the interest return is simply too low that I want to increase this in my asset allocation. I prefer the equity investment with about 8% annual return, 4% dividend return, approximately 4% return on the gains on the stock market. On average, on the long term, yeah, if you're diversified in the market as I am. Then swapper, all good so far. As you know, like on most platforms, I withdraw all the invested money, the principal. I only have the interest return still in it, but still I would have to make more research in Spain at the loan office, talk to Iveta, talk to the new CEOs, exchange if I want to continue with a good feeling. You know, that's all efforts, and yeah, sometimes I'm just thinking about if it's worth or if I just should reduce the platforms, or if I should reduce P2P and leave P2P, whatever. What's your opinion on that as well? Pretty the same on TWINO. I just want to have this regular exchange and just visit them in the office and get my impression as on all platforms, and same also on VIAINVEST. Yeah, but as a summary of it, at the moment I reached the total amount I wanted to invest in P2P. I said like 100,000 euros, it's very close to that. I don't want to invest more than this at the moment. Maybe I decide to reduce, and maybe I decide to change my mind, whatever. You know, it's everybody's own decision, so never know what I decide in future. But at the moment, I will use the cash flow that's above 100,000 euro, above that. So I will not increase my P2P investments at the moment, also because of the situation of inflation in the market and so on. But I think it is to prefer assets that are better in the situation of inflation, yeah, like equity, like maybe also gold, or maybe digital gold, like cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so now really looking forward exchange. In the comments, wish you all the best, great return, and looking forward to see you again in the next update and in my next videos. If you did not do so far, please subscribe my channel and press the bell, and also thumbs up would help me to be motivated to continue with these videos. You know, I really appreciate the exchange in the international community. This is also the reason why I make the efforts to make this video also in English, and yeah, and try to improve. All the best and goodbye.